contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment, and output. Agriculture has been the backbone of the Indian economy. Though its share in the gross domestic product or GDP has registered a declining trend from 1951 onwards, yet its share in providing employment and livelihood to the population continues to be as high as 63% in 2001. The declining share of agriculture in the GDP is a matter of serious concern because any decline and stagnation in agriculture will lead to a decline in other spheres of the economy, having wider implications for the society. Considering the importance of agriculture in India, the Government of India made concerted efforts to modernize agriculture. Establishment of Indian Council of Agricultural Research or ICAR, agricultural universities, veterinary services, and animal breeding centers, horticulture development, research and development in the field of meteorology, and weather forecast, etc. Apart from this, improving the rural infrastructure was also considered essential for the same. From the table, it is clear that though the GDP growth rate is increasing over the years, it is not generating sufficient employment opportunities in the country. The growth rate in agriculture is decelerating, which is an alarming situation. Today, the Indian farmers are facing a big challenge from international competition. And our government is going ahead with reduction in the public investment in agricultural sector, particularly in irrigation, power, rural roads, market and mechanization. Subsidy on fertilizers is decreased, leading to increase in the cost of production. Moreover, reduction in import duties on natural products have proved detrimental to agriculture in the country. Farmers are withdrawing their investment from agriculture, causing a downfall in the employment in agriculture. Food security, Part 1. You know that food is a basic need and every citizen of the country should have an access to food which provides minimum nutritional level. If any segment of our population does not have this access, that segment suffers from the lack of food security. The number of people who do not have food security is disproportionately large in some regions of our country, particularly in economically less developed states with higher incidence of poverty. The remote areas of the country are more prone to natural disasters and uncertain food supply. In order to ensure availability of food to all the sections of the society, our government carefully designed a national food security system. It consists of two components: A. Buffer stock, and B. Public distribution system or PDS. As you know, PDS is a program which provides food grains and other essential commodities at subsidized prices in rural and urban areas. India's food security policy has a primary objective to ensure availability of food grains to the common people at an affordable price. It has enabled the poor to have an access to food. The focus of the policy is on the growth of agricultural production and on fixing the support price for procurement of wheat and rice to maintain their stocks. Food Corporation of India, or FCI, is responsible for procuring and stocking food grains, whereas distribution is ensured by Public Distribution System or PDS. The FCI procures food grains from the farmers at the government announced minimum support price or MSP. The government used to provide subsidies on agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, power, and water. These subsidies have now reached unsustainable levels and have also led to large-scale inefficiencies in the use of these scarce inputs. Excessive and imprudent use of fertilizers and water has led to waterlogging, salinity, and depletion of essential micronutrients in the soil. The high MSP, subsidies in input, and committed FCI purchases have distorted the cropping pattern. Food security. Part 2. Wheat and paddy crops are being grown more for the MSP they get. Punjab and Haryana are the foremost examples. This has also created a serious imbalance in the intercrop parities. You already know that the consumers are divided into two categories. Below poverty line or BPL and above poverty line or APL, with the issue price being different for each category. However, this categorization is not perfect, and a number of deserving poor have been excluded from the BPL category. Moreover, some of the so-called APL slip back to BPL because of the failure of even one crop, and it is administratively difficult to accommodate such shifts. each district and block can be made self-sufficient in food grain production. If the government provides proper agricultural infrastructure, credit linkages, and also encourages the use of latest techniques. Instead of concentrating only on rice or wheat, the food crop with a better growth potential in that particular area must be encouraged. Creation of necessary infrastructure like irrigation facilities, availability of electricity, etc., may also attract private investments in agriculture. The focus on increasing food grain production, which should be on a sustainable basis, and also free trade in grains, will create massive employment and reduce poverty in rural areas. There has been a gradual shift from cultivation of food crops to cultivation of fruits, vegetables, oilseeds, and industrial crops. This has led to the reduction in net sown area under cereals and pulses. With the growing population of India, the declining food production puts a big question mark over the country's future food security. The competition for land between non-agricultural uses such as housing, etc., and agriculture has resulted in reduction of the net sown area. The productivity of land has started showing a declining trend. Fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides, which once showed dramatic results, are now being held responsible for degrading the soils. Periodic scarcity of water has led to reduction in area under irrigation. Inefficient water management has led to waterlogging and salinity. Do you know why food grain production has remained stagnant or fallen for 6 consecutive years? One important reason is land degradation. Free power to a section of farmers has encouraged them to pump groundwater to grow water-intensive crops in low rainfall areas like rice in Punjab and sugarcane in Maharashtra. This unsustainable pumping has reduced water storage in aquifers. Consequently, many wells and tube wells have run dry. This has pushed the marginal and small farmers out of cultivation. The big farmers with deeper tube wells still have water, but many others face a water crisis. Inadequate storage and marketing facilities also act as a disincentive to the farmer. Here you can see a video.
Paddy procured by Markfed, a state agency way back in 2008, should ideally be with the Food Corporation of India now. Instead, there's no attempt to segregate the grain from the waste.
Thus, the farmers are badly affected by the uncertainties of production and market. They suffer from a double disadvantage as they pay high prices for inputs such as HYV seeds, fertilizers, etc., but lack the bargaining power to fix prices in their favor. All the production reaches the market simultaneously. The higher the supply, the lower is the demand. This causes distressed sale also. Therefore, there can be no food security without the security of the small farmers.